Whew, I missed this store. All right, there's a little construction tip that you can do when you're decking. To bring a straight line, you got to run your measuring tape from there to the end of the board, and each time you put your board, you pull your measuring tape on both sides to make sure you're carrying a straight line. Right now I'm at 83.13, so this side has 83. I already measured that corner over there, 83.13. Bear with me. See that? 83.13. 13 is just a little past 3/4. So I'm seeing how I carry a straight line. Now the boards, I gotta mill them down to close out the middle gap, straighten them out, but right now I'm just cutting them long enough to do the decking. This is another thing, like the 16 on center. Yes, I missed out there because I had to borrow someone grinder because my grinders are down, they're not working. I have two of them and they're not working, they need to be serviced. So if you see this one that's missing here and this one that's missing there, these are all 16 on center. That's 10 feet right there at the end. See that? Being centered. So it's like it's not that tough to like get them. See there, it has it where it's highlighted in red. If you want, I can come back and then show you the other one. Here's the other one right there. Can't go wrong. You just have to want it to look a certain way. If you don't care, then you're just gonna throw it up and it's just gonna look all kind of wonky. But that's like when you're trying to do quality control. And I'm doing my stuff like this to do my layout because this one have a major crack there. This is a 10-footer. It has another major crack here. So I'm just going out, picking them one by one. This one I'm gonna switch it and put it on the far end over there and cut it to where it can be a little bit shorter and I still get close to my 10 feet out of it. Here's another one where the corner is kind of damaged, but I think I can salvage that. And then this one right here as well. See those major cracks. But like I said, you don't have to be a stiffler. You can just take your time and work it out and make something out of nothing. See how that's looking? That's what it looks from there to there. And then later on I'm gonna sand them, clean them up as well. So the reason why you would take your measuring tape and then run it and clip it to the outside edge is in the event that the board, say the building is perfectly square, but you are the one setting or laying down your flooring or your decking. You can still, we're all humans, as you can see in one of my other videos. You'll see that I missed a couple of my flooring joists. I didn't weld one section or one side of it. So things like that happen. So you could accidentally bump the board off a square, and if you're not paying attention, you don't have like that builder's eye, you're not gonna catch when that board is keeled off square. So that's how you use your measuring tape. As you run them, you measure to make sure you're carrying a somewhat straight line, you know. That's all it is about, just making sure everything stay where it needs to stay and go where it needs to go, so you're not struggling with it later on. Just as you go, you measure. You could do every single one, or you could do one or two, and you can put down two then measure, or you could put down one then measure, or you can do every one. It all up to you as the individual, how you are trying to do and how much time you're trying to invest in making sure you're carrying a good square line, because you can still have a good square line and then later on kind of get it off, you know. Or another thing is that maybe one side of the board is wider or deeper than the other side, so that's why you do that. Then you can find out beforehand, and then you can switch it out, or you can come in and clip that end that's off. This is another little tip right here. This is another tip. I think I lost my chalk line. That's one of the best way to get a straight line, but then you can also use a straight edge like that. See how I pull it all the way back? So now I'm gonna come in and mark a line, and then I'm gonna put my next board. You see that board over there with the saw sitting on it? I'm gonna cut that to go over here, like how it has some of the ends really damaged. I'm gonna get off those bad ends, and then I'm gonna cut it less than 10, because when I run my 16 center from this side, it's totally different. So when you're building, if you do your 16, I start my 16 on center from there, and I'm working my way towards this side. A great builder will do 16 center from this direction as well. So it doesn't matter how you're running or setting the decking. If you come behind that other below, you will find that these things will always be 16 on centers. But then again, that takes more material, it takes a little bit more patience and skills, and it requires a little bit more time to get something like that to be worked out perfectly. And you gently just move it out of the way so you don't bump your board, like how I haven't had these screwed down and I'm just going ahead doing my layout first. So you just got to be extra careful. But see, I already have my line, so I know that that's where my next board will start, and then I can also start filling this section right here. And as you can see, I might not necessarily put it here. I might come back over here and put it in to tie it in to do a puzzle, because you see this pattern there, that's not a great way to carry a pattern. It's strong, but it's stronger if you can weave them in. When you weave them in, then the flooring and the house and the building becomes much stronger. I'm doing this pattern right here because I'm carrying that like that's a 4 feet sheet of plywood. So you can see what I'm talking about. Clip my end over there and then come back and see I'm 4 feet. It's just a little bit bigger, but that's the general, you get the general gist or the general idea of what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna literally, where the measuring tip is at, I'm gonna run the next line from there, and then I might do another set of where I'll do 4 over here, then do another side. Add a touch of color into your day. And as you can see, I did the bottom where it's floating. I have it where it's kind of like floating. So what I'm trying to do with salvaging this one, as you can see, I kind of salvage it. There's still a large section that's cracked that will crack later on. I can't stop that unless I put in a bow tie, but it's supposed to be 111 3/4. Remember to measure twice or thrice before cutting. Don't measure once and then cut. So I just did my second measured. After I transfer my mark onto the board, I went and double checked my measurement twice. Now I'm getting ready to square it off and cut it. Always remember, it's best to measure more than once instead of measuring and then cutting a bunch of times. Measure once and then cutting a bunch of times. Perfect example. See how that's set there, and it looks all beautiful. But then when I come down there, you see it's floating past the line that I have, so it's covering it. So I brought my trustworthy framing square to try and figure out and see what's happening, what's going on, where I went wrong. Well, not necessarily went wrong, but just trying to figure out if the board is that bad. It's pretty square there. Now the next way to do that is run my measuring tape, clip the end, and find out what's going on. Unless I kind of got my straight edge off. So I figured why it's off. So the width of from here to here is not the same as that end over there. And then this right here, the width of these are not the same as the width down there. So that's how you can correct your stuff. So when you know this side have a couple boards, I think it have more of this side bigger than that side down there. They're wider. So you're gonna just have to, how you correct that, you just pull this one and then put this end down there and put that end over here and make your adjustments. And it's only off by a quarter anyway. The corner, I check the board is square against the joist, and then I check my corner end and it's square as well. This is the next phase that I will be doing. I'll be installing it with carriage bolts, nuts and screws. Just carriage bolt with the nuts and flat washers and stuff. I got metal bit to go through the metal, and then I got wood bit. You can store your lumber like that. If you're gonna have it and you're not gonna use it for quite a while, you can stack it like that. One unwise thing that you can do when you're doing projects, try not to buy a precise amount of timber. This one is damaged there. And this one is damaged there, and this one is damaged there, but I don't have any option at this point. So with stuff like that, when you have that, then I'm just splitting the difference and just taking off the worst off the section. Like, oh, that one is bigger, I gotta just do a little section over there. Starting to come together. These two are a little bit less than the 8 feet, so I gotta figure out how to fill in this corner. I have one more piece to cut for here. I got 3 1x4s. If I can't make these work here and find a piece for that, then I'm gonna see if the 1x4s will work for there. But yeah, this is it right there. So I got started pulling out tools like around 7:30. The sections of the couple sections that I missed the well, it took me maybe 45 minutes to make those 2 wells. For some reason I struggled to get the welder to come on or turn on or run, operate. Then from roughly about 9 to 10:20, let's give or take 10:30ish. So I still got that's the last 1x12 over there by 8 that I have to square up and put the 8 feet over here, and then I can start running the carriage bolts. It actually feels like more than an hour and a half doing this, but it's just been an hour and a half. If I hadn't had so much technical difficulties this morning, I think I would have finished like just before 10. I would have been running the carriage bolt by now. And I'm not moving at a rapid pace. I think I'm going like a mild max turtle pace. along with doing puzzling. Right here again, this one is just shy, just past the 8 feet, just shy of 8 feet, maybe 4. Corner is bad, so I just gotta like pinch the ends, square it up, and get our cut and put it in place. That's my last 1 by 12 by 8 feet. Jackpot. My little assistant right there, keeping me company and making sure the project manager is making sure I'm doing what I'm doing. So those 3 will help finish and close off this section. Two more cuts and I got it. Okay, so there you have it. And this is Sapodilly, and then the white one is Nargusta. I was hoping for all Sapodilly, but it turned out well. I love the pattern, the color, and the combination, and the layout and the design. It turned out to be a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I'm digging it immensely. Alright, there's the carriage bolts, about to get set up and get those installed. Had a 30-minute setback. I couldn't get power to the drill. I just got some power there. No, the drill is stuck in there. First one in. Easy peasy Japanese. We work for like, shares, and comments. Subscribe. We work. Getting after it, getting it done.